Boys and girls, good evening from NYChessKids. My name is Saudin. In this lesson, we will be talking about mating patterns. There are approximately 50 mating patterns. They have the names, and we'll study all of them. So the first mating pattern is the back rank. Back rank is 8th rank and the first rank. The checkmate happens because the king cannot escape. How about you think about this one and try to find the checkmate in one move? Great, if you found the move rook e8, then that's correct, right? Back rank checkmate. Let's go to the next one. Let's see what's going on here. Think about, and you can even write down the moves on the piece of paper. Okay, let's see. We have this attack with a rook, and also queen is attacking. So try to calculate with me. If a rook takes on e8, black rook can take, and then queen can take on e8, checkmate. So let's see that. Rook takes check, and queen e8, checkmate. Let's see the next one. Now, here, it is not a back rank, but the king is trapped on the side of the board on a file. So I'm sure you can see this move, right? Rook goes to a1, checkmate. Pay attention. The king cannot escape. The pawns, triple pawns here, are blocking the king, and king is checkmated. And let's see, this is the last back rank that we need to study. Here we have a queen, we also have a rook. King is on g8, so I can give you a little bit time. Think how to checkmate the king here in 3 moves. Okay, let's see this. Calculate with me. Queen goes to f7, check. King has to go to h8. Then queen goes to f8, check. Bishop has to take, and the rook takes on f8. So let's see this. Queen goes to f7, check. King has to move to h8, check, and checkmate. So that's a back rank checkmate. Back rank is important, and we are going to see many more puzzles with a back rank in other studies. But right now I just wanted to introduce you and explain you the positions on Lee chess. So let's see now the next one, that's called hookmate. For a hookmate you need a rook, you need a knight and a pawn. Try to find a checkmate in one move and write down that move. Okay, if you found rook e8, then it's correct. Rook a7 is not correct because the king can run away. So let's play rook e8 and see what happens here. We have a check, knight is protecting the rook, and pawn is protecting the knight. So the king cannot escape. Let's see the next one. What do we have here? Here we have 2 rooks on the 7th rank. Very important because they are powerful and they can attack the king. We also have 2 knights protecting each other. Pawn blocking the king, so the king cannot go to f4. Take a little bit time and think about the combination here. You have a checkmate in 3 moves. Okay, let's calculate together without moving the chess pieces. A rook goes to g7, check. Bishop takes the rook, and then rook from c7 captures the bishop, check again. King cannot move. So the only move that black can play is rook to g6. And then we take that rook g6, checkmate. I hope you can see that. Let's see this. Rook goes to g7, check. Bishop takes. Rook again makes check. And then we take rook g6, checkmate. And the last hookmate. What do we have here? Well, queen. We know that for a hookmate we need this pattern, right? We need a knight and a pawn, right? So try to imagine this rook on b8. It would be a checkmate. So I hope you can find a move right now and write down that move. Okay, let's calculate together without moving the chess pieces. Queen takes the bishop, check. King takes. Then rook goes to e8, check. Now king has two options, king d7 and king b7. If king goes to d7, then we would play rook d8, checkmate, hookmate. If king goes to b7, then we play rook b8. Let's see that right now on the board. We play this move, then we play check. So if king goes to d7, then rook d8, checkmate. Here, rook b8, checkmate. So we have this pattern with a knight, rook, and pawn is protecting the knight. Okay, let's go now to Anastasia mate. This one is very beautiful. Look, for Anastasia mate, it is important to have a knight and the rook. This mate happens when the king is in a castling position. So try to find a checkmate in one move. Of course, there is only one check, right? Rook h5, checkmate. Now pay attention, king cannot escape, right? Because this great knight on e7. Now let's see a little bit more about Anastasia mate. Okay, it's your turn. Try to calculate the moves without moving the chess piece. This checkmate in 2 moves. Now we have knight in a great position, so we can recognize this pattern that's called Anastasia mate. So we take. Of course, we will never give a queen for a pawn unless we have a checkmate. Queen is a very powerful piece, so we don't want to give the queen just for a pawn. But in this case, we have a checkmate. Take, and rook goes to h5, checkmate. Let's calculate now 3 moves. Okay, your turn here. Try to find a checkmate in 3 moves. And write them down. I hope you didn't make a mistake here by playing queen h7 right away, because that would not be a checkmate. First you have to play knight e7 and set up the pattern. Knight e7 check, and then you sacrifice your queen, and then you play rook h5, checkmate. Let's see the last Anastasia mate. Here we have queen, so look, I'm recognizing the pattern right away. I have 3 pieces here that can help me for Anastasia mate. Find the checkmate in 3 moves. I hope you found this move knight e2. So let's calculate. Knight goes to e2, check. King has to go to h1. Queen takes on h2. King takes on h2. And rook h6, checkmate. We take. And rook h6. Okay, that's Anastasia mate. So now we're going to go to a very important position. It is called blind swine mate. Look at those 2 rocks on the 7th rank. They are very dangerous, powerful in the 2nd rank, because when the king is in a castling position, those 2 rooks can attack the king. Try to find a checkmate in 3 moves here and write them down. Okay, let's calculate together. The rook takes the pawn on g7 check. King has to go to h8. Then the rook takes the pawn on h7 check. King comes back to g8, and then this rook from b7 goes to g7 checkmate. King cannot escape because there is a rook on f8. So let's try this. We take, then we take again, and checkmate. I would highly recommend you to do those positions again on your own and remember this pattern. Rooks on the 7th rank are going to help you a lot in your chess games because this happens in our games. So let's go to the next one. What do we have here? Look, we have a king on the 8th rank. Now we have this knight on e6 that ended up on the black side of the board. When a knight crosses the border and goes to opponent's side of the board, that knight is very dangerous and powerful. It can help to attack the king. But pay attention to our rocks. They are not line up well to attack the king. We cannot attack the king just with 1 rook. So we'll need to bring this rook into the game. So we know this pattern of the 7th rank. So look, first we're going to give the check. Right? King has to move, and now we are bringing this rook. So now we have a pattern, right? Knight is blocking, but it's difficult to block, right? There are no other good moves for black. So we take that. Right? Rook is blocking, we take the 2. So there are no moves for black. Although black is a queen up, right? But there are no moves. Now you find the checkmate here in 2 moves. So we play check. King has to come to g8 and checkmate. Now pay attention to this one. We really need this knight on e6. Without knight on e6, the king would run away to f8, and then we cannot win the game. We could make a draw, but we cannot win the game. So here it's a checkmate. Let's go to the next one. What do we have here? We have our setup. 2 rooks on the 7th rank. Alright, the king is in a castling position, so there is a chance we can attack here. How about you calculate a little bit the moves here? I'm wondering if you can find a good move here. And try to write them down. There is a checkmate in 5 moves, so we need to calculate 5 moves together. Okay, I hope I gave you enough time. So let's calculate without moving the chess piece. The rook takes the pawn, and we are threatening to play rook g7, rook h7, and then this rook comes onto g7 checkmate. So that's what we want to do. But there is this rook here, right? So we take the pawn. Now, first we have to see what happens if the rook takes. If the rook takes the rook, then we have a tricky move. Try to find that move. Hopefully you found a rook b8 check, right? Rook b8 check. King cannot move. Rook has to go back to f8, and then we take rook f8 checkmate. Pay attention how rook and the knight are working together, and it's checkmate. Now, black has in-between move. So when we take on f7, the black has this move f3 check, and we'll have to be careful, right? So let's check this out. We take, and now black plays this move check. I don't want to take that pawn. Look, if I take the pawn, then there's a rook here, discover check. I could be in trouble here. So I can see that there's a mating pattern here, right? By taking, giving a check and taking on h7. So I'm going to run away with a king to the safe place. Look, I'm not going to h1 because I would be checkmated with a rook a1. Right? So I'm playing king h3. This is safe place right now for a king. And if the rook runs away, now we have our pattern. You already know it. Try to finish the game without moving the chess pieces. Rook goes to g7, king goes to h8. Rook h7 check, king goes to g8, and then rook from b7 goes to g7 checkmate. Hopefully you can see all this. Rook g7, rook h7, and then rook g7 checkmate. Alright. Now I want to go back because it is important that you see everything here. So instead of rook a8, let's see that move just in case. If I cannot move it. Sorry. So if the rook takes on f7, then we would play rook b8, and rook goes to f8, rook f8 checkmate. So that's something you can see on your chessboard, or you can see on a regular chessboard, right? You can set up this position and see everything. Okay, so that's the two rooks on the 7th rank. You don't have to remember all those names, right? But try to remember the patterns, because those positions will help you to become a better chess player. Okay, now the next one, smother mate. I'm sure you saw this mate, and it's really cool. Look at this position. Black is clearly better, right? Black has a rook and a king, 2 pawns, but white wins the game by playing knight f7, and the king on h8 is checkmated, smothered, right? Cannot move, right? It's blocked. It would be better for king without the rook on g8, right? Because it would move. So that's a smother mate. Let's see another one. Smother mate happens with a knight. So the knight is the only piece that can do smother mate. Try this one. It is checkmate in 2 moves. This one is very beautiful. So look, if you found the sacrifice of the queen, queen takes on h7, queen takes, and then knight f7, checkmate. So let's see that on the chessboard. And knight f7, checkmate. Beautiful, look at us. Black has a queen and a rook, and still white is winning the game. So this position shows you it doesn't really matter how many pieces you have on the chessboard. It matters what's happening with the king. Let's go to the next one. So now we always have to pay attention to the pieces attacking the king. We have 1, 2, 3 pieces. As soon as you see something like this and the king in the corner, you should think about this mother mate. So try to find a checkmate in 2 moves here. This checkmate really happens in the chess games. It would be important you remember this one. So let's calculate together. Queen goes to g8. You give your queen. Right? Now, what's important is that queen is protected with a bishop, so the king cannot capture. So the rook takes, and now the king is smothered. Right? And then knight f7 would be a checkmate. Let's see that on the chessboard. We play this move. So pay attention. Rook has to take. King cannot take. If the king can take, then smother mate is not happening. I've seen many times, not only kids but even adults would make a mistake. They would play very fast. They want to go for a checkmate and they just give the queen for free. So you have to have a protection for a queen. A rook takes, and now knight e7 checkmate. And again, white is winning the game, and black is look queen up, right? So let's see the next one. And this is the last one. Okay, here it's a little bit more difficult. We will have to calculate 6 moves. I'll help you, right? What do we have? We have knight. We have a queen. We don't need a bishop in this case. Knight and a queen can set up a smother mate. So we know that pattern, right? And then the king is here on c8. I am going to give you a couple of seconds to think about, try to calculate, see if you can find some ideas, and then we'll go together through this position. Try to write down everything that you see. Okay, I hope this is enough time. Yeah, this one is not easy, right? So let's see, let's calculate together. First move, knight to c5, check. We are discovering the queen, check, right? Knight to c5. Now, king has a choice to go to d8 or b8. Or you will see in this position, black decided to give the queen for free, just to delay the checkmate for a couple of moves. Now, if the king goes to d8, then we could play queen d7 checkmate. Remember, we have a knight here on c5, and the queen on d7 would be a checkmate. So we will have to calculate what happens when the king goes to b8. So calculate with me one more time. Knight c5, check, and let's say that black just plays this move, queen e6 gives us queen for free, and we take queen e6 check. King goes to b8, and now we play, do not play queen c8 check, because the rook is not going to capture, king can take, right? So we have to change the position of the knight. So we play knight e7 check, king goes to c8. Now discover check again, knight b6, double check, check with a knight, check with a queen. King goes to b8. Stop here. Try to find a move. Okay, if you found queen c8 check, now rook has to take because our knight is on b6. And then knight comes back to d7 and checkmate. I hope you could see that. Let's see together. Knight goes to c5. He gives us a queen, just to delay the checkmate. Right? Of course, he doesn't have to do that. We take. He cannot stop the checkmate anyhow. Now, king goes to b8. We already studied, if the king goes to d8, then queen d7 is checkmate. So look here, do not play this move. because rook doesn't have to take, king can take, and then there is no checkmate. So we have to adjust the position of the knight. This is how we do it. Let's try one more time from here. Knight e7, king c8, knight b6 double check, king b8, and now queen c8 check, rook takes, and knight e7 checkmate. So let's see this. Knight e7, now double check, and queen c8. Now you see, this is important because knight is protecting the queen, so the king cannot capture. And what do we have here? Rook has to take, and the king is smothered with both rooks and the pawns, and now knight e7 checkmate. Okay, of course this one was a little bit more difficult because we needed to calculate 6 moves, but that's how you become better chess player, by calculating the moves and not playing them on the chessboard. Right? You have to write down what do you see. Do not just click on the computer, because then that's a guessing. It's not the right way to study those positions. Right? So that's why I decided to record this, so you can study with me and you can calculate all those positions with me. I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I am going to see you in our next lecture. Thank you for listening to me. Bye bye.